to raw dog their mental illness and use it to make art anymore. So I just finished listening to the episode of The Journal, which is the podcast by the Wall Street Journal. It's America on Too Many Psychiatric Drugs. It essentially covers the dark side of being on prescription psychiatric drugs for a long period of time. And they cover a few cases of people who were on antidepressants and anti-anxiety drugs for a long time. And when they were weaning off, they stated that they felt quote unquote crazy, unbalanced. Some were even trigger warning driven to taking their own lives because they couldn't handle the sensations that they were experiencing when they were weaning off of these drugs. There was a case that they presented of someone who spent over $100,000 for treatment, and even surprising cases of people who were on benzos for like 20 years when they're really only supposed to be prescribed it for 2 to 4 weeks at a time. And before I share my opinion on this, I'll just preface with I believe in people getting the support they need, especially if they cannot do life without it. That being said, I think the casualness with which we joke about people being on Xanax or lorazepam really speaks to the prevalence of these psychiatric drugs in our culture. Part of that might be because of the overzealous prescription happy machine that is the pharmaceutical industrial complex, but I also think a large part of it is because people are no longer able to do life without numbing agents. I don't need to remind you that we live in a late stage capitalist society where we are encouraging people to follow dead-end career paths where they go in and they sit in front of a desk where they're devoid of any sense of creativity. I know this. I've experienced this. I've experienced the dread and the hate that builds up over time when you're sitting there day in and day out, just absolutely confounded by the fact that everyone told you that this was the path towards stability. This was the way. This was the ultimate dream for over 40 years of your life. That coupled with the devaluing of art, which serves, in many cases, there are studies out there, go out and look for them, which serves as a therapeutic outlet for many people. Those two things combined, it's no wonder that people are no longer able to function without these numbing agents. So we've created these conditions where people are finding it excruciatingly painful to be able to do life. Now we're confused or wondering why so many people are getting prescribed them, for one, and two, spending decades on them. It just doesn't, I don't know why we're surprised.